What's up, Mushroom fam? It's Gary with Fresh from the Farm Fungi. Today I'm going to be the mycotechnologist and go through some different troubleshooting issues on forums. I get a lot of questions from you guys, so if you have any specific questions, feel free to comment below or comment on any one of my videos that are out there. One of the things that I like to do is to help people figure out problems. And if you're looking for good genetics, go check out our Etsy shop, Fresh Fungi. That's the number one place to start, is with good genetics. All right, let's dive into this. Trichoderma, once again. Okay, so on the forum Mushroom Growing, what were your most common causes of trichoderma and how do you resolve the problem? Okay, so for me, growing in a commercial setting, the biggest areas of trichoderma happen when I'm overhauling my grow rooms. So if you have the smallest outbreak of trichoderma, you want to isolate those blocks and get rid of it as quickly as possible, because that organism, once it enters the system, it can work its way backwards and eventually infest your grain spawn and all of your cultures. So I would say the first reason is when you put your grow blocks into your fruiting chamber, that's the first time that the organism is exposed to the outside air. You can't really have a sterile grow room, so the liability exists from there. But as long as you're diligent about cleaning, as long as you're doing your observations, and as soon as you notice that you have trichoderma, you should remove it immediately. That being said, what would cause trichoderma? So oftentimes when your substrate is underhydrated, trichoderma can outcompete mushroom mycelium. So if you have a healthy block of, like, let's say oyster mushrooms, it's going to be resistant to contamination. But if that block gets damaged, if you induce pinning with a dirty knife, for instance, that has, other contamination on it already, it will spread rapidly throughout your grow room. So also something to consider is the time of year. So right now it's springtime in Colorado, so trichoderma is just starting to re-emerge from the soil. This is something to think about. So you want to have a really clean grow room. You want to be observant and get rid of it as fast as you can before it can spread. And then also maintain cleanliness. So another reason why it could spread rapidly is with fungus gnats. In the heat of summer, those are a huge problem for any mushroom grower. So there's a lot of ways you can mitigate them. I recommend the yellow sticky tape as like a monitoring system. You can also get a bug zapper or other natural passive ways to control against pests like fungus gnats, which, once you get one, prepare for a million, because they can spread pretty rapidly, just like trichoderma. All right, so the next question is Excellent Lemur from Mushroom Growing. I have a liquid culture I inoculated with spores. It's been about a week and a half, still not type of mycelium, just getting an opinion. Okay, so I'm looking at this vial here. It looks like they injected spores into like a sterilized media bottle. I'm noticing some black specks, which is a little concerning. So oftentimes when you use spores, it's a good idea to dilute them down a lot. So if you take a really high concentrated spore solution, inject it into a nutrient broth, the high likelihood it's going to be contaminated, because spores aren't necessarily sterile. So I'm looking at this jar on the left here. There's a few dark flakes in there. I would recommend testing this on agar before you go any further. It looks like on the right-hand side, there's a lot of sediment possibly the start of some mycelium colonies, but my gut instinct just tells me it's contaminated. I recommend going from spore onto an agar because the agar will act like a filter, so you can see like a two-dimensional plane of what that broth would look like. And if it's clean, then I would say go ahead and try to make a liquid culture. But honestly, you're gonna end up with a lot of headaches. It's very hard to tell if a liquid culture is contaminated, but at the same time, it's very easy to contaminate them because everything loves the broth that the mushrooms will grow in. So I would say if you're interested in doing a spore to liquid culture, dilute them first, at least tenfold. That way, even if it's contaminated, hopefully the contamination will be diluted out, and do multiple vials so you're not just hanging on one sample that is probably contaminated. So the next question here is a lion's mane question. I've got a question from G Wang. Why is part of my lion's mane pink? So I get this question every 4 to 6 months, and I believe that it is a genetic question. So I've grown dozens of different strains of lion's mane, and there's certain ones that seem to get pink really early on. Now, if you just keep growing them out, usually that coloration will go away as the teeth start to form. So another possibility though is that it can be caused by some kind of a bacterial blotch. So it's a subjective question, but I believe that some lion's mane mushrooms are naturally pigmented, and if it grows out of that, then fine. But also be aware, it could be bacterial. I would say if you're unsure, err on the side of caution. You should get that mushroom tested or test it yourself. Some mushrooms or some bacteria, like maybe like Pseudomonas or something that could get into your humidifier can look pink. But the pictures that I'm looking at here, everything looks healthy. The mycelium is nice and white. It's just that weird pigmentation on the top of the mushroom that should disappear over time. Another concern though, in this specific, this grow, is that it looks like there's not enough fresh air exchange. So lion's mane, when it doesn't have enough fresh air, it will kind of just keep forming other nodules on top of itself instead of getting those standard teeth that you usually see on a nice lion's mane mushroom. So maybe there's not enough oxygen in this chamber, but it's really hard to say without a CO2 sensor. But that's kind of what I see. So I think it's absolutely normal to get some pink. If you're concerned, err on the side of caution and test it for bacteria. But 9 times out of 10, it will just outgrow this phase and turn into beautiful lion's mane. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed those Mushroom Tek videos. If you're looking forward to more videos like these, subscribe. If you're looking for premium quality genetics, go check out our Etsy shop, Fresh Fungi. And if you have any specific questions, like I said, comment below. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. Until next time, much love.